Hello, everybody, and welcome to Read This Way, episode 8, where we just talk about the current manga that we're reading, whether it's something new to us, new to the industry, or completely ongoing, like the never-ending story, which is One Piece. I am Brad.
That's delicious. That's delicious. And I'm Logan. And we're here to talk about all things wonderful in the wonderful world of manga and anime. Sometimes
and we've got
anime.
a couple,
Probably more manga.
Yeah. Honestly, it mainly manga, but like whatever else we kind of feel like Elden Ring's amazing.
Wow. That's a little bit off topic.
It's very off topic, but you can make a couple of connections, right? Like I'm sure there's a Game of Thrones manga somewhere.
Oh, no doubt. And look, I am absolutely loving the onslaught of memes that are coming from said game. It's been very delightful.
Dude, it looks gorgeous and its scope is insane.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I've got to say about it.
Sounds like a really big game.
Oh, dude, it's huge. I'm disgusted with how many hours I've already put into it.
I'm sure it is.
It's been out for like 2 weeks and it's sold 12 million copies. What the hell?
Yeah, and I'm not one of them.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, I don't think I will. I'm not into the whole fantasy role-playing game.
You'd be very into this storytelling, I would imagine, though. Like the way that they go about it.
I tell you what, if they did it like deep dive style, I'd be there.
What do you mean, like deep dive?
Like, Sword Art Online.
Oh, right.
Put the helmet on and
yeah. All right, well, let's get off this topic because it's been about 2 minutes already, and we haven't even started talking about manga. So, Logan, what have you been reading?
Everything. Oh my god, it's been such a good 2 weeks of content. It's been non-stop.
We are going to try and keep the format similar to last week, where we'll keep it as spoiler-free as possible. In most of our topics, obviously the ongoing series reviews will be a bit more spoiler heavy, but with the new series, we'll give you a general overview of what it's about and let you go from there, essentially.
Yeah. Well, look, before we delve into the regular stuff, I watched Gundam Unicorn. This week, and that was short.
Was it really?
But long at the same time. So they're 45-minute episodes, but there's only 7 of them, which I found because of the scale and the
that kind of works out to being a 12-episode run time anyway, roughly.
Yeah, like half a season.
Yeah. Odd, but anyway.
Yeah, it's a little bit unusual, but I thought because of its fandom and because so many people were behind it. Hey Sigma. That there was more to it. I thought it was bigger, but the weird thing is it feels big. It's like a big production, and I think it is in the animation where things are a bit special. So Gundam stuff is known for being a product-driven anime. It's all about selling toys, and I wouldn't have said that it is something that sort of peaks or pinnacles in animation in any particular way. But Unicorn has these really spectacular human moments. The robots, great, but they're all done in 3D. You can tell that 3D rendered. Well, you can't tell per se, but it is pretty obvious that they have. But the human element is very hand drawn, and it's got a very nice new classic style. So the character design is what
are we talking like 80s, 90s Gundam?
We're talking 80s, 90s Gundam. It's definitely got that design element to it where you've got the hair flicks and and all that sort of stuff. And you know, the guys have big jaws and all that sort of business. It is quite fascinating in that design aspect. And then the animation is just so gentle when it comes to human movement. Ooh. And you know, they have these really great scenes where they break down and cry inside the Gundams and stuff like that, and the angles they use and the motion they use in it, it's just phenomenal. It's really beautiful stuff.
I do really need to get back into Gundam. Like, I know I said that when we had our big robot episode, but
yeah,
I haven't actually gotten around to watching anything. And every time like we speak about it, I always kind of crave that ridiculous sci-fi war story. Even if it's to, have you played the Valkyria Chronicles games?
No, I have not.
It's kind of like it's a real-time strategy game where it's very World War II-ish.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the Valkyrie. Yeah. I know of it. Yeah, I know of it, but I haven't played it. Yeah.
The way they do their character dramas in the war stories, like even in kind of in Fire Emblem Three Houses, but in some of the older Fire Emblem games, it's very character driven and very character focused. What is going on with your hair?
Oh man, sorry to distract you. I thought I could use my headphones as a headband, but it's just out of control, man.
But yeah, no, I think I'm craving that sort of. It's a unique flavor of drama.
It definitely is.
It's generally like children's soldiers as well. So
that's generally well, Unicorn. The child soldier that's involved is a bit older, so I would call late teens, possibly even 20s, early 20s, but they never specifically say. And none of them, they all come from sort of well-off families and that sort of stuff. So nobody is of a disadvantage or of a certain crowd of people, with the exception of some of the rebels that, you know, have grown up in some pretty extreme environments.
Generally why they're rebels.
Yeah, exactly. And they go through that. So even though there's 7 episodes, they amass an enormous amount of attachment and world building story thrown in there. It's quite dense, actually. The way they structure a lot of the story, and it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a 45-minute episode. It feels like an hour and a half. You're getting an hour and a half film in this one episode, because of the amount of content that they squeeze in there, and the amount of connection you get with all the characters. So highly recommend. So anybody who's thinking about delving into the world of Gundam,
was this which one was this? Unicorn?
Yeah. Unicorn's definitely a good grab, and if you got the stomach for it, Iron Blooded Orphans, because it's just top notch storytelling right there. Lots of sadness, but
most of them are.
I know, it's war. How can you do it any other way? It really. I love the way they paint. There's no good guy, no bad guy.
Yeah.
There's just perspective. You know, the first 2 episodes are always, this is the bad person, this is the good person. But by the 3rd or 4th episode, you're questioning that concept, and it's throwing you slightly askew. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute, maybe they're not the bad guys. Maybe he should be working with those guys because they're actually the ones who were wronged in the first place.
So this is exactly why I am saying to you off screen that Attack on Titan is basically just a Gundam.
It's the same principles, man. You got war, you've got kids, and you've got giant robots. Let's say it, flesh robots. It's all it's a Gundam in disguise, isn't it?
It really is. I'm really excited for the finale, to see that animated. That it's going to be so good.
I haven't started watching the latest season yet, so
no, I'm quite behind with the anime, to be honest. Completed, like, read the whole finale of the 2 months of drama that surrounded the ending of the manga, which was really interesting. It landed, and everyone was like, "You can do better," and he was like, 3 more pages, and everyone was like, "All right, I guess."
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah, it was kind of mixed. I didn't mind it. I could see where some people were kind of coming from, but yeah. Yeah, giant,
flesh
yeah,
suits.
pretty much.
Excellent, Jack. That's on point. Flesh suit sounds great. There needs to be a story about flesh suits.
I mean, there was an anime a couple of seasons ago that was kind of that. It was like he looked like a mascot, and he was like a dog.
Oh,
and the girl, Glyphner,
Glyphner.
And the girl jumped inside of him, and it was all fleshy and gross.
Man, that story was lots of fun.
It was, but it was weird.
it just had it had a lot of weird fan service in that.
It did.
Yeah,
it was like almost a hentai with the level of like
the whole concept of climbing inside.
Oh, it was a whole euphemism. Like,
the whole thing. Yeah.
It was so Freudian.
It's all messy.
It was just kind of gross because, like, in the inside, like, the camera would go inside of the flesh suit, and you'd see her, and she'd be in nothing but her underwear and covered in like this viscous fluid.
Yeah,
and it was just like, why?
What's going on here? How does that portray the story?
Anyway. Yeah, no, I did too. It was really fun.
Yeah. Did you watch anything new or different?
No, not Gundam. Whoops, I did that out of order. My bad, Jack. Yes. Flip me up. Did I watch anything different? No. Did I read something new? Yes.
Ooh, let's go to the new segment.
So,
sorry.
Over on Manga Plus. Actually, I start the story again. The way I found this manga was through a YouTuber by the name of Sufferance. He does a lot of really cool like anime character reviews and deep dives and stuff. Go check him out.
I'll check it out. He sounds like a super happy guy.
Yeah, he is. But he's been doing a bit of manga showcases lately, and this was one of them, and it's really cool. So it's over on Manga Plus, which is where you can read it for free. It's called The Kajiki Chef Divine Cuisine. So good. It's kind of like if Food Wars was set in a fantasy story, very Japanese inspired, and like maybe early 1900s is the vibe I'm getting.
Are we gonna? Yeah, I would say it was like on the very brink of the end of Edo.
Yeah,
would probably is where I would say that they were at,
because it's got kind of built up areas, but it's also it's got very it actually shares a trait with one of the new manga we talked about last week, Gachiyo Akuda, with the whole item being kept for so long that it's developed a soul, which is also kind of reminiscent of things like Soul Eater, the supernatural elements, and the shonen aspects of like Blue Exorcist. I almost said Black.
In a sense, very similar as well. But
yeah,
you're right. It's become quite a common theme at the moment.
But it blends it very well and very uniquely, and it has its own distinct flavor to it. Suffering actually said that he was using it as a palate cleanser, and I kind of get that.
Yeah, I get that too, because it's not, the art style is great. Don't get me wrong; it's really beautiful to look at. But it's at the same time, I probably couldn't pick it out from a crowd, in the sense that it's kind of similar, or it's well worked. It's well worked. Is probably where I want to come from, because the mangaka behind this has actually been working in the industry for quite some time. So their style is pretty well fleshed out, and
I get what you mean. Like, it definitely has its own, like, it is very, I guess, safe to a point. But I think that's going to start changing very soon.
Well, the style and the world building is definitely unique. But you're right, the art, the character expressions and the character movement is safe.
It feels maybe not safe is the right word. Well, kind of, but it feels familiar, but in a nostalgic kind of way. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. But so the premise of the story, in the world there exists giant things called Kajiki, which is
food of the gods.
Basically, from what I can understand, is like giant food like items ranging from mostly fish and sea life in the sky and giant cabbages.
Yeah.
And giant slugs.
I've noticed the way that things just pop up, right?
Yeah. So it's got this weird and wacky sort of fantasy dreamlike scenery going on, where you'll have, like, you'll look up and there'll be a school of fish, a giant octopus, what have you, and these things can start, like, when they're getting on the even massiver scale, start causing natural calamities such as typhoons, tornadoes, earthquakes, eruptions, and there are a select group of people who go around and hunt these creatures and use their ingredients. Would probably
flesh.
be the right
Let's
word.
call it what it is. They use their flesh.
The meat. Well, it's not always flesh because they've got cabbages.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
The flesh. Anyway. And these ingredients, like Logan said earlier, are said to be the food of the gods, and are said to have special properties such as healing all illness, incurable diseases, regrowing limbs. And so in the first chapter, our main character, or one of our main characters, gets their arm bitten off by a shark, and the knife that the other main character just so happened to be polishing at the time started to speak to him, and he cuts himself and gives it blood, and it transforms into this really cool sword, which is more of like a kitchen knife, but it's kind of modified. It's cool.
I wouldn't know how to describe it, to be honest. It looked like a giant paperclip with a knife on the end of it.
I mean,
no, that's a really terrible way of describing it, but it's it's got like this ring handle.
It's almost like well, it's a knife without the wooden blade. Sorry, not the wooden blade, the wooden handle.
I know what you mean. I get it.
It's got like the big hooky bit that slides in, and it's meant to have like a pin through it that locks it in place. It's how they did the samurai blades as well. They had like a little stick of bamboo so they could remove it and pull it apart and clean it. The more you know.
Next time I need to clean my samurai sword.
Yeah. I lost complete track of what I was talking about too.
Giant fish, swords.
Yeah. Essentially, the main goal is to help the main character regrow their missing arm, because of not necessarily a sense of guilt, but a little bit, but definitely a sense of duty.
It's a bit more than that.
In terms of young budding romance. Oh my god, it's so adorable.
It's so cute.
It balances everything so well, though.
Yeah, and this is a clear indication of experience.
Yeah,
there is just experience in the way that they have managed the beats of which the action happens versus the romantic interests to the general world building exposition.
Everything just feels organic, which is, pardon the pun, with like it being about food and whatnot, but it really does. Like, it's so, everything happens so naturally, and it's so well written. You get a lot, like in the first 4 chapters, you get a lot of information about the 2 main protagonists, which I guess is why the relationship between them and their families all feel so natural, because you just spend so much time with them in those first initial chapters. You learn a lot.
Yeah, they pour a lot into those pages.
Even just chapter 1. It has currently got 14 chapters. I'm complete. Yeah, I'm up to date. What about you?
I am, but I feel like it was shorter than that. You're right. It goes so quick, and it's so easy to read.
Well,
we've kind of
had two. We've had the prologue, our first like mini arc, and now we're going into the first main arc. They've set up, I would say, probably most of our core cast at this stage.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. They've included
the 5
third wheel.
Yeah, the third wheel character, which is a swap up because they've got 2 girls and 1 boy, which is usually the other way around.
2 girls?
Yeah. The Silk Maiden girl with the little thing. Who are you talking about?
No.
You forget about her?
No, I was talking about the other kid that they're getting the swordfish with. Are you not up to date? We're past her.
Yeah, but she's gonna come back.
Oh yeah. Sure. Yeah.
No, you're talking about
the third wheel.
You don't reckon?
No.
I reckon she's gonna be the
She's too old for him.
Oh well, yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about like just in terms of like the core cast of like having the 3 characters.
Yeah, no.
Actually, no, I am not up to date.
Oh,
I missed that chapter. Whoops.
I was about to spoil that for you. No, a lot happens in that chapter.
That's right. They 2 chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have actually only read up to chapter 12. Huh. Okay.
I almost ruined that for you. Get into it. And everybody else out there, get into it.
How you doing, man? I've just realized that he can't say anything back until he types something out.
You're just waiting for
just like patiently wait for a response. Yeah. But yeah, no, I would very highly recommend it. I had a lot of fun with it. I pretty much read the first 12 chapters all in one go.
Yeah, same.
I was, and then impatiently was waiting for the next chapter, but I didn't know when it was coming out and forgot about it.
You forgot because there was so many other things to read.
Honestly, yeah. The last 2 weeks have been insane for content. Like, I know we talked about Takopi's Original Sin a little bit last fortnight, sorry. But my god,
they dropped like 5 chapters at once, didn't they?
So, just really quickly, this is a really interesting series because it's been set to only have 16 chapters, which is a bit weird with the terms of I guess if it's successful, they want it to continue on as long as they can. And there's a lot more in the way of long form manga than there is this short form stuff nowadays, or at least in the popular mainstream.
Are they testing the waters?
Maybe. But yeah, it's only going to be 2 tankobons. So yeah,
it's fine by me, because I tell you what, at the pace it runs,
I'm glad,
and the character development that they do, it is way. They couldn't, if they made this longer, I wouldn't have enjoyed it.
I also don't know how they would have.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they probably could have stretched it out a bit more, but I don't think it needs it. For anyone that missed last episodes, Takopi's original sin is about a little alien octopus thing named Takopi, who is from the planet Happian? Happy. And he's a Happian.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And basically they go on pilgrimages across the universe to spread happiness across the universe. And Takopi comes to Earth, meets a young girl, and my God, it gets insane so fast.
So this is sorry. Before anybody reads this, warning: there are topics of suicide. There are topics of bullying. There is topics of abuse, and it is dark.
It's very real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, agreed, Kai. We do need more short form stories, especially just so that things can have the amount of work and effort that needs to be put into it over a healthy amount of time.
Yes. Yeah, instead of trying to cram as much content as they can into a longer space of time. You know what I mean? Stretching stuff out.
the first thing that came to my mind with one shots as well was One Piece. And I was like, that is one series that got extrapolated from its one shot. But anyway, I know what you mean.
Yes.
So yeah. Oh man. Takopi's. Yes. So it deals with a lot of very bad topics, a lot of bad people, but it also wants to showcase the point of, even though people are capable of horrible shit, they're also very capable of really heartwarming moments and love and compassion and friendship. At least that's what I'm getting from it so far.
Are you?
Where are you up to date?
Yeah, I am, and I can't say I've experienced the happiness compassion just yet.
I feel like that's where we're getting at. Like that last chapter that we got, what are we? Chapter 15, 14, 15 that dropped at the same time roughly.
Which basically unfolds the entire story, 14 and 15.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to get into much details or anything.
No, massive spoilers. This thing has got twists and turns all over the place.
But I do feel like that's kind of the direction that it's heading in. And that because it's a short time travel manga about tragedy, I guess, would be the quick way to sum it up.
Yeah. But let's face it, every time travel Japanese anime manga is about tragedy.
Yeah, and they're usually so good though. Absolutely, Bleach would have been amazing.
It would have been paced so well, and it would have been fun as hell.
I mean, like the start of Bleach is so good, and then it just kind of wanes. Admittedly, I haven't read the manga as much. It was airing like when it was coming out when I was more into the anime side of things.
Yeah.
And it had just chock full of filler, and I think we got 2 seasons of it back to back, and I just gave up.
Yeah. I remember reading I didn't watch the anime. I read the manga first up. And you're right, 100 to 150 is where I stopped. I can't remember what it was, because that's where they were up to at the time when I was reading.
Yeah.
But my brother was watching the anime at the time, and he's like, yeah, you should totally watch this. So I tried watching 1 or 2 episodes. I'm just like, this is junk. Sorry. Compared to the manga, the story flow in the anime is just horrible.
Oh, wow. There's even filler in the manga too.
Yeah, probably later on. Not as much in the first 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to revisit it to see how well the start's aged, because I mean it was one of the hallmark manga and anime back in the day, and it's making its resurgence at the moment, so that could be an interesting thing to talk about in the future. Yeah. Once we revisit, catch up, and read the one shot that came out a few months ago.
Oh, that's right. They did do it. He did do it.
Yeah, they did a one shot.
He got the itch after doing Witch series as well.
Yeah.
Burn the Witch.
Which is set in the same universe, isn't it?
I believe so. Though after reading it, I'm just like, how has this got anything to do with Bleach? I don't know. It might be him trying to construct a universe of sorts, I guess. I mean, the Bleach universe itself could have many a offspring. It's a great little concept, and I think it would expand. It would have been better off if they had left it at that sort of 100 point, and then went to a new character, or did a spin-off, or did something that had a little bit more gravitas.
Admittedly, I don't remember much past the Soul Society arc.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I feel like they just ran out of ideas. Yeah.
I do like how I did see someone compare Kajiki to Bleach, and I kind of see it.
Yeah,
except instead of rescuing the damsel's coming with him, and potentially going to be very powerful as well.
I love her power. It's so cool.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of where the Blue Exorcist vibes are coming in for me. Yeah, it's just giving me those sort of vibes. What else? There was something else that we picked up recently, wasn't there?
It's just our new regular.
Which was?
Which you're now up to date because.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
Gotcha Rakuda. That's right.
Yes. That's the one.
The name so good.
Sounds like Gatchaman, and I'm just like, what? And Gotcha Kuda is just full of so much energy. I hope to God it doesn't slow down. I hope it just picks it up and it just runs as furiously as fast as it can towards the end, because I just feel like the energy is what's really pushing it along right now. And quiet moments are okay as long as they don't go for more than 5 pages.
I just really want to know who's going to be publishing it over here, because I would like to have an official source. At the moment, I've only been able to see it on places like MangaDex, which does its best to catalog manga where possible. It's kind of like a digital library idea. But then they try to redirect to official sources where they can, sort of thing.
They basically pull it down as soon as it becomes available overseas.
Essentially, yeah. I'm really, really excited to see if Viz is going to pick it up, if it's going to come across to Manga Plus, or if we're going to get an official English release at all, until it gets physical releases, which could be months away. I mean, we still haven't even seen Dandadan in physical form yet, have we?
No, well, they weren't planning on doing it.
Yeah,
and it was just fan argument that just got it printed over in Japan. I don't know whether it'll get printed overseas or not.
ooh, it better.
Which is just insanity. It's just pure insanity because it's groundbreaking. It really is groundbreaking compared to everything else that's happening at the moment.
We'll get there. We'll get there, buddy.
I want it now.
No, we'll talk about it later, is what I meant.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Well, do you want to jump into the regulars, or what do you want to do?
Well, we'll quickly just talk about Gachi Okuda as well.
Oh yeah, sorry.
In a little bit more detail, because it's only still pretty fresh as well. Like, where the other two newbies, Takopis and Kajiki, those ones have been kind of like dumping couples of chapters a weeks. Yeah. So it's almost like we're catching up to the publication now. Gachi Okuda, on the other hand, literally only started like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know, but I want more.
Oh my god, it's so good. I described it last week. How about you describe it this week?
Describing it. Okay. It's set in a world that is basically a very sad environment of class structure. So you've got the rich and powerful, and then a big giant wall, and you've got everybody else. And they don't interact with each other. And
well,
they try not to.
Just a quick side note, because you've got the upper crust, then you've got the slums, and then you've got the big wall.
No, there's a big wall between the slums and the upper crust.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, but
go back and look at those panels.
They do have free passage between it. So when you said big like wall, I just assumed you meant the cliff. Sorry, I'll shut up.
The cliff is a different thing. Yeah, so you have these two societies, and we follow our MC in the slums, of course, and he is a bit of a rubbish entrepreneur, where he goes to the upper crust and steals their rubbish to sell in the slums.
One man's trash, you know.
That's exactly right. You know, all these things have a purpose, and rich people tend to throw things out without looking at or fixing them. So that's what he does. He goes and grabs them in danger. I mean, it's not the easiest job. He quite often gets shot at and the likes of, and is put up as a bandit. They put like a or like warrant out on him or something, don't they?
That first chapter, man, like it was setting it up to be something completely different.
Oh, so different, so weird. It was so weird, and I'm just like, this is kind of a weird story, but kind of cool.
I'm like, all right, I'm liking this, and then it just like 180'd, and I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah, so he's living in the slums. He's selling his rubbish to people, and he lives with his uncle.
I think it's just an adoptive father. Adoptive father figure sort of thing.
Yeah, I couldn't work out whether it was an uncle or related in general. Anyway, he lives with this guy. This guy has raised him and taught him. He knew his father.
Yeah, and he has a crush on a girl.
Yeah, he has a crush on a girl.
And he repaired a toy for her, and it was super cute, and they were hitting it off.
It was great. It was great. And then his parent gets killed.
And then it wasn't
murdered. So just in case you're thinking this is spoilers, this is like the first 2 chapters right here. Everything comes crashing down real quick. And then our poor MC gets blamed for the yes, this is true.
Yeah.
So our poor MC gets blamed for the murder, and they decide to throw him over the edge of the slums into whatever pit of hell that is beneath them without a trial. This is the thing, you do something in the slums, and they throw you out like the garbage, and everybody turns their back on him, including the girl that he
instantly.
Yeah, like she's like, drop the toy and like, I hate you forever. And man, does he snap that moment when everybody turns on him.
He was okay, and then she did, and then he was gone.
Yeah, he was just lost. And he's like, I'm coming back to burn this goddamn place down. I'm gonna destroy society. And I hope he does. Because they toss him over the edge, and he ends up in more rubbish.
Yeah. Literal a monstrous rubbish. Pile.
Yes, a monstrous pile, which actually turns into a monster. So this is where we take my dad
jokes and leave.
No, you keep hold of them, keep them close to the chest.
Honestly, yeah, it's very it's a bit more shonen-y.
Yeah, it is way more shonen than because Chainsaw Man teetered on the edge of seinen.
Yeah, it has a similar sort of vibe. Like, I do get why you'd bring draw that comparison. It's even got quite a scratchy style, like Chainsaw Man does in some of its paneling.
Yeah, but his lines, even though they're scratchy, they're well placed. He knows he's putting that scratch in there, and that's a design decision. It's not
absolutely.
It's not a lack of being able to draw a straight line. He puts it in there, in the right circumstance,
like
the right
emphasis, like scratchiness, to portray impact and things like that.
Yeah, especially on the close-ups and stuff like that.
It's so brutal though. In saying that, I don't know.
It's such a weird mix of what did we say? It was trash punk.
Yeah.
So it's got this weird style in which you'd call trash punk because everything is recycled, everything is used, everything you look at, there's nothing clean, there's nothing new.
I'm sorry, it's the latest chapter.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, that was horribly used.
I actually it was the first time in a long time. Actually, probably the last thing to make me physically laugh out loud while I was reading a manga was Golden Kamuy. Just in some of its gags, but this, oh my god, that it was like 8 pages of gag, but done in such a. It was so well done. Like
8 pages of gag.
It showed the disparity between the two characters in skill, but then immediately salvages their relationship by turning it into a comedy skit, which then not only does the victim feel traumatized by, but the perpetrator also does. And then it knows that it was funny, and it kind of revels in it a little bit after the gags even finished. But man, I was very impressed by the latest chapter. This is definitely a keeper for me.
Yeah, the balance is real nice.
Yeah.
So and this patiently Mangaka's worked on a bit of stuff.
Yeah, Soul Eater and Fire Force, I believe. Well, Soul Eater, I believe. Fire Force, I know for sure.
Yeah. As a system.
Yeah.
On both.
It feels like a different flavor of punk in manga. Because like Chainsaw Man was very punk, but in a different kind of way.
It felt monster punk.
Yeah.
Everything was
grimy.
And
the comparison's definitely there, but it definitely feels different enough to not as well. Does that make sense?
It's I want to say it's more lighthearted than.
Yeah, but then you get
then you get confused because you think it's lighthearted, but it's not. It's just more lighthearted than Chainsaw Man is, because
I mean, the
that
guy
stuff's heavy.
bit some fingers, like literally gloved a dude.
I love
he just
that
tore
scene.
off his fingers. My God.
And I love the fact that they kept the bone. They just like take the flesh off the fingers, leave the bone. It looked fantastic.
It did. It was gross. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the kind of detail I want to see, though.
Yes.
More finger biting.
I think that's it for our newbies.
Yeah.
We'll kind of try and, I mean, we can only read so much, but we'll try and keep reading at least 1 to 2.
And there's only so much we can talk about.
True. So before we move on to the weeklies, we have a word from our sponsors.
And the word from the sponsors would be you, Bradley.
I'm the sponsor for today.
You're the sponsor.
Well, as you guys know, we also do comics. Logan recently just had his successful Kickstarter. The ones with the frogs.
The frog man and women, and not either.
Because they're frogs.
Them.
And they can do whatever they want.
They can.
So, I am also going to be launching my own Kickstarter very, 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 very soon. It's for issue 5 of my comic Super Ready Battle Armor, which is heavily inspired by things like Fully Cooley and pretty much everything else that you're going to hear us talk about on this program.
Big old melting pot.
Yeah. But like you guys, if you've been watching the last 8 episodes now, you guys know what our sort of eclectic tastes are in manga and anime now. I'm actually interested to hear how you would describe SRBA, Logan.
SRBA. Oh, how do I describe it? Don't do that to me on the
spot. Quick.
I know. Because it's
this is what you get for letting me host.
Okay, so it's a story about
Squirm puppet.
Damn it, you've got so many damn stories going on in your. It's hard to collect. It's hard to collate into a single description. And just saying manga inspired just doesn't do it justice, because this thing is just crammed full of. Oh no!
Oh man! No, straight shot savage.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible.
He does look great. I agree. Thanks, Paul.
Love you, man. So Super RBA is about a city in which our main characters live in. Oh, fuck. No, this is not fair. This is not fair, because I know too much of the story already.
I know.
I don't want to say anything out of step.
All right. I had a lot of fun with that.
And you've got like this little description sitting in front of you, no doubt.
No, honestly, it was to buy time so I could get the link, because I wasn't prepared.
God, it's great. Read it, because it's good fun. It's got lots and lots of character and funny jokes and all that wonderful stuff. And I design stuff for it. Take that.
You do. Yeah. So okay, my fun and games out of the way. The main character. Drop a log. Ooh, I don't know what that means, to be honest. I'm sorry.
I don't do lines, man. I'm just I'm clean.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Kai. Please elaborate in the comments below. And
I believe a log line is like a 1 or 2 sentence description of a.
Oh yeah, no, it's about to.
Yeah.
So the story of Super Eddie Battle Armor is set in a big city, as Logan was saying. It's called Utopia. There seems to be some civil unrest at the moment between rival gang members, but the media seems to be downplaying some. Cool. Thanks, Kai. Damn it. So basically, I'm just gonna we're nixing it because my brain is just not working. Main character can bring people back from the dead. And when he does, they come back a little different. So it's a bit of a superhero story, a bit more of a character drama. Our main cast is very eclectic. We've got a runaway, in BA, a techie guru girl in Violet, and Infector is basically a shut-in who works at a nursing home. And everything kind of unravels one day when a rival gang member shows up and basically starts burning the entire home for stray kids called the Iron Weights Gang down to the ground and shooting and whatever else takes place. And one of our protags dies. And so Infector, on his way home from work, decides to resurrect him. And
giggles, of course.
Yeah, and hilarity ensues.
Does
but no,
bit.
In all seriousness, that was a horrible description. I would endeavor you to just go follow the link and have a check out of the fantastic artwork, who was also done by Mr. Kai Link, the commenter on our videos today. Amazing boy. That's actually one of the newer-ish characters that I get to properly introduce in the latest chapter. I'm really excited about that. But anyway, enough about my own work. Let's go talk about some official manga.
Some spoilers.
Let's go into the weeklies, but the relatively new ones first, I'd say. Akane Banashi. You still enjoying?
Yeah, I am.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to take the new cast of characters that they've suddenly thrown in. It's starting to feel a little bit like a harem.
I hope not.
Yeah, but it kind of is. You know what I mean? I hope it doesn't. I hope it keeps on track with the dedication to the art form and plows through that, and maybe some love interest with the MC and one of the other characters, mainly the guy that she first met.
Yeah, the one just above her.
Yeah, the one just above her. That wouldn't be so bad. With a triangle with the guy from the other guy, this
oh yeah, the sexy guy. Yeah, I like the sexy guy.
The sexy guy. What's his special skill? He's a sexy guy.
Yeah, and then when he's a dumbass, it hits even harder.
Yeah,
it's like I like it.
Yeah, he's a good combination of character, that guy. But these new ones, I don't know. I'll see. It's just sort
literally
of
one chapter. So
it's one chapter laying out what essentially is going to be happening for, I'd say, the next 15 to 20 chapters would be my guess, which is her training at the base level.
Stop it, you're beautiful and your art is gorgeous. Shut up.
So I'm still enjoying it. I still like the characters. I still like the expressions. It's probably one of the more plain manga that I'm reading at the moment. Real slice of life.
Yeah.
Sort of
I mean, it kind of feels, to borrow someone else's term, it feels like a bit of a palate cleanser.
Yeah, it definitely is. When you're reading through, it feels like it's just it just resets me a little bit.
It's very fun. It's enjoyable. It's funny. The art's very pretty, very expressive.
Yeah.
Which it has to be. So, very briefly, if you didn't know what Akane Banashi is, which I should have said from the beginning because it's relatively new, literally a slice of life manga about this young girl who is enamored by her father and her father's craft, which is Rokugo, the art of essentially one-man storytelling.
That's it.
There's currently 6 chapters. This one's on well, it's actually on Manga Plus as well, but I started reading it on the Shonen Jump app, the Viz Media. It's very good. Very enjoying it. Still enjoying it. It's good.
Yeah. You know what? The art style actually reminds me just a little bit of Kamui.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely
clean.
see that.
It's clean and very defined characters, but then you have moments of ridiculous humor or expression thrown in there.
Yeah.
So it's got that kind of vibe to it without the bears.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Champion chapter coming up.
Man, there's so many bears in Gundam League. Oh my god. What else was there? There was Dororon is 15.
Let's just jump, do a sidestep and do one of your favorite and not so much mine. Earthchild.
Oh yeah. I am loving this cute little series. That's the other one. I forgot it. Yeah. Look, I know you're not vibing it yet, but I don't know, man. It's charming. I like the dad. It's just Dilf the anime.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I don't know what it is. It just all feels so.
You know what?
90s. It's
it also doesn't
90s vibe to it.
It also doesn't really feel like a shonen. It kind of feels a little bit more like a shoujo.
It feels like what happens in between the shonen chapters.
It's shoujo, right? The young girl anime, the what Sailor Moon is.
Yeah, I think that's shoujo.
Yeah.
The art style's not there.
No, not in art style.
Story, I can see where that's coming from. Yeah.
Especially with her design, it kind of gave me very magical girl sort of vibes. Which I mean, she basically
she's a superhero.
She's a girl with with telekinesis. So Earthchild's a weird one, guys. I know we've probably spoken about it before, but just for people who haven't caught up on it, it's only 5 issues in, and it's literally about a romance between a young man and a young girl, after she saves his life and wipes his memory, and he just can't forget her for some reason.
Yeah, look, that's cute. I like that. I like the fact that he can't forget it. It doesn't matter how many times they wipe his memory.
Yeah, full on Men in Black that shit.
Yeah, and not just once. Like in the first 10 pages, they hit him 5 times.
Yeah, I do admit, I do get where you're coming from. It is kind of hard to pin down, and even in these 5 chapters so far, it still hasn't really landed where the series is going. I feel like we're getting there.
Besides the main 3 characters, it feels like there's no cast.
Yeah.
Everybody feels like a And I don't know whether this is on purpose. Yeah, they feel like an extra or a faceless suit that's just in there for
like we have
as a purpose to drive.
Three characters that fit that bill, and then literally everyone else is just no one.
Yeah, they just fodder.
Yeah, like there's the 3 main characters, and then there's the 3 supporting characters that aren't really characters yet. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're right. There's no defined image here.
Yeah, it's like here is named character. They're gonna be important in a bit. There's no attachment. There's no attachment. That's
that's what I'm definitely lacking at the moment.
Yeah, but so far I'm really enjoying the relationship between the father and son. So cute, so damn cute. I'm still, admittedly, still writing off chapter 1. Like chapter 1 was such a good first chapter.
It was a one shot.
It was definitely. It was just a one shot.
And it shows. It feels like from that first chapter they've been struggling to grasp.
Wow, Jack. Okay. That's a self burn. Those are rare.
Oh no, that's a bit rough. It's a bit rough. It felt like that first chapter, that first one shot was a well encapsulated story. And I didn't think it needed any more. I thought it was pretty set.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, and I'm definitely willing to see where they take it. But yeah, even if honestly, like, even if it does end up getting cancelled and not working out, I still had a really fun time with, at the very least, chapter 1.
Yeah.
And
I can agree with that.
Like, I'm still really enjoying what I'm reading at the moment, but yeah, like if it does turn out to fall flat on its face, it's also really pretty.
I've been reading it, but I've been forcing myself to read it.
No,
which sounds terrible. It sounds terrible, but
it is definitely one of the first ones that I read at the moment. Like I'm reading all the new ones first.
I'm waiting to see what happens, or if anything happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it's gonna go. I've got no gauge for it.
I'm starting to feel like the author doesn't know where it's going either, which is I know it's terrible, but it's like I did this really cool one shot, and then they've gone, "Can you do more?" And they've gone, "Okay,
yes,
let's give it a go." It feels very patchy, but look, it feels so judgmental saying that, and
it does.
It is very judgmental, but you know what? It's my opinion.
Rooms.
This is my opinion, not yours, not anybody else's.
True.
So,
this is
you like it, Bradley, not so much me. Let's go on to the next one. Now here's one I'm enjoying,
which you weren't at the start.
Jeez. I had to go at one chapter because it was kind of lame. This is like the reverse of Earthchild.
I am giving you so much shit today.
That first chapter was just so boring. Nothing new or different happened until the second chapter. The second chapter really took off.
Oh, I just remembered what happened in the last chapter. Yeah, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're jumping right into the deep end, with illustrating their difference in power.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm very, 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 very hoping that it's about to take a very dark turn.
Yeah, I'm hoping someone dies.
Yeah, it's
I
don't
want them to. Yeah, I know. I don't want him to. Die. Man, I love that new guy. I really do.
That's why he's gotta die, man. Like there was so many death flags. It's just like,
I know, but give him a few more chapters at least.
He like gets introduced and then killed off.
Yeah,
Oh
you're
my
right. He
God.
comes in and he's just like, I'm the friendliest guy. Everybody loves me. And the MC initially hates him, but then he likes him. And then it's just,
Oh wow.
yeah.
I've always wanted to meet people like you. I've always wanted to be a friend with a Mononoke. Oh, what's that? We're going on a super dangerous mission.
Oh, that
Surely nothing can go wrong.
It's so bad. Might as well be wearing a red uniform. Seriously.
Star Trek.
But
yeah, no, it's good. I am enjoying it.
It's got all the shonen trope vibes hanging around it, but all in the right way.
You know, it's kind of reminding me a bit of what what was it called? It was the Bone one that got cancelled last year.
Oh, Bone Collector. Was it Bone Collector?
Was it Bone Collector?
Bone.
Yeah, Bone Collector.
Is that? Or am I just remembering that book?
Yeah, no. It was Bone Collection. Yeah.
Okay. Collection.
It is definitely reminding me of Bone Collection, but without the ecchi elements.
Which I've noticed they're starting to steer away a lot.
Yeah.
It's like they've gone, we only get so much out of that before people go, no, we want more.
Yeah.
Except for Akashi Triangle, that's still going strong. Have you read that?
Oh man, that's really sad. No, I haven't actually. Sorry. I just I opened up the Shonen Jump website and it's got 2 new releases on there. Series debut, Our Blood Oath, Volume 1, Our Blood Oath Volume 2, final volume.
Oh.
It's just really sad. Like it's on the home screen.
Or maybe it was meant to be a 3-chapter thing. I'm going to give that a read.
No, Our Blood Oath was only it definitely got cancelled.
After 3 chapters.
What? Oh no, it's the volume 1. The
top volumes. Yeah, sorry.
It was 16 chapters, I think. Like I enjoyed it. It was quite basic, I will admit. But it definitely had its own flair to it, and I haven't read an interesting vampire story since like the early 2000s. So it was like kind of nostalgia vibing for me. I was really enjoying Our Blood Oath. It was a little bit sad when it got cancelled. Wasn't surprised, but that was mainly because it came off the back of Bone Collection being cancelled and Phantom Seer being cancelled. And I was so in love with Phantom Seer.
I'm
still
kind
mad.
of happy that I didn't actually jump onto that one initially. Otherwise, I'd be as broken as the rest of you.
I'm furious about that one, man. Like it was so cool. Anyway, although I guess spiritual successor in the in terms of being solely focused on like yokai and things, but it's more of a gangster story instead of a high school occult thing. Aishimon is it's just hitting goals.
It's definitely driving home that shonen vibe quite heavily.
I mean, the main character loves manga.
Yeah, I like that. I both love the fact that he is doing the shonen trope where, perseverance
it's kind of a parody,
conquers all.
Also not.
But it is. It's breaking that fourth wall. He's going, I want to be a shonen character, and he is a shonen character at the same time.
It is weird. It's almost like it's kind of like almost a Deadpool, but not quite.
Yeah, he's not turning to the camera and saying things, but he is aware of himself and what's happening.
The thing that I find really cool about that as a in gaming it would be a mechanic, as a writing tool, is that it grounds the story in our reality. So it gives the idea that this is happening in Tokyo, in Shibuya, in where's the other place that they go to? Shinjuku and Kamabucho, I think.
Something like that.
But it's under the veil of the yokai, so regular humans can't see this, and I like that sort of
underworld element. It's
that groundingness on the series. Like it's very supernatural, but it's also set here, so it's fantasy, but it's real. It's also got like a little bit of realism to it. I don't know. I'm finding it hard to describe at the moment. You get what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, it's unique in the sense that it's both fantasy and reality at the same time. It's like these blend in very comfortably the elements of fantasy in, I want to say, a gangland drama. You know, it's yeah.
Sorry, you just made me remember that Tokyo Revengers, my dude.
Oh, okay, yeah. I still got to jump on that bandwagon. I still haven't. Everybody keeps telling me.
The latest chapter, like, it feels like we're getting in the final arc at the moment, and it's getting real hype. I'm very, very excited to see where this is going to wrap up. But anyway, continuing on with Aeshima. Tokyo Revengers was just really good this week.
We'll talk about it in a second. So this week in Aeshima, the past couple of weeks, we're in the middle of the bike gang battle at the moment, and we finally get to see our tadpole friends' ability to drop motorbikes on people's heads.
Yes.
I forgot. What's his name again? 10. Is his name. And yes, he's fighting the big guy who can spin everything. Yeah, and ends up dropping a motorbike on his head.
I like the little bit of world building with the telekinesis linking.
With the tattoo, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That was very cool.
I like the drawback for it being that whatever he feels while they're in communication, it resonates to her as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a good element.
It's just the world building and everything, and the character building and the power system. So cool.
This is very typical of him. He just plans. It's like he plans. The story's already done. It's finished in his head. He's just going through the paces of putting
Hell's Paradise was amazing, and this is just
as good.
Man, I'm just looking at some of the pages now, and it's just insane. Like,
they're pretty tasty. They're well. He loves using angles and using the background for movement instead of the characters. So instead of portraying the characters moving with a still background, he tends to blur the backgrounds and have the characters in action, which is a slightly different technique. But I think it gives a sense of movement, like it's more film or more cinema movement.
Yeah, because you're focused on the focal point and everything. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
I think Fujimoto does that a bit too, doesn't he?
Yeah. I think that's because he doesn't do a lot of backgrounds and likes to focus on his art. That is a very, very personal opinion, I think. He probably doesn't work that way at all. That's just me observing the comic books. If for some bizarre reason Fujimoto gets this translated, no,
he's coming for you, man.
Oh, please do come for me.
I want to meet you so bad.
Really like to meet you, even if it is for my head, whatever.
So I just need to quickly talk about. I'm going to keep it brief, but last week, One Piece went on a break. So, as per usual with Oda, he left us on one of his massive cliffhangers, which has sent shockwaves through the One Piece community, potentially upending all of One Piece on its head, changing what we possibly have known the story to be for the last 25 goddamn years. And we won't know anything until Monday. And then we're going on, and the whole of Shonen Jump is going on a break.
Thank goodness.
I mean, break. They probably won't actually be on holiday, but we're not getting a chapter.
That'd be great. I'd love to just.
I hope they are actually on.
I wish they would do. They would go on holidays and go. They just take the whole crowd down to the beach and take photos, so we could actually see them having fun.
That sounds like work for them, though.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though.
It's promotional.
But yeah, no. Okay. Listen here, buddy. You're not wrong.
It's always friendship. Gotta believe in the heart of the cards.
Honestly, there's not really much I can say. If you like One Piece, you know what I'm talking about. You're just as hyped as I am. If you're not into One Piece, I would say that now is probably as good a time to jump into it. It's only going to get bigger.
Yeah. So many people go, oh, it's too long now. I can't get into that. Well, either you do or you don't. It's not getting any shorter.
Like, I know it's like, it is incredibly daunting, but it is so worth the read. Like, so well written. Honestly, though, if you were going to read, I guess, like an arc out of order, like they kind of do with the movies, because the movies are like an entire arc compressed into a movie.
Yeah.
If you did that with the manga and just kind of like, if you knew the general concepts of One Piece, you could fundamentally jump to any sort of arc and have a good time. If you're unsure, if you've tried One Piece before and you didn't really vibe with it, I would say read the Water 7 Any Slobby arc, which is focused all around Robin and Frankie. It is peak One Piece. If you don't like that, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. You've got no taste.
What do I know about One Piece? Pirates, fruit.
That's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's it. That sums everything up.
Specifically, bad tasting fruit that gives you superpowers.
Yes. I don't care. Give me superpowers.
Speaking of superpowers, dun.
Yes.
Just I every single week is
without fail.
They just keep one-upping themselves, and I've come to expect a high quality now that I'm just completely spoiled by this series. Like, what is he doing?
He's destroying everyone else. He's just gotten on board and he's just going, oh, you guys are wrecked. I'm here to destroy. And
I can't. And they were not going to publish this. Can you believe it?
I know. Could you imagine them looking at that first issue and going, yeah, I don't know. You would be insane. Man, you would, I would back it with my heart and soul. And the fact that it was digital only is just mind-boggling. Yeah. Absolutely mind-boggling.
And I mean, yeah, it's got some language to it, but I mean, it could have been put in Shonen Jump 100%.
Easy peasy. That's what Stars and freaking hashes and stuff fall.
Yeah, I mean, there's anyway. We got really spoiled again.
We did. Incredible.
The art is incredible. We're in the epilogue of the arc, but it still feels like we're still just going.
Even their conversation feels like action. There is just so much going on, and I remember when I read this, I sent you a text. I said the paneling in the conversation in this recent chapter is
the spread, wasn't it?
Phenomenal. It was. I just read it and I'm just like, I feel like I'm sitting in the room listening to all these people talk at once. That's what it felt like. It was just.
It felt like being at a family dinner or like a celebration, like a holiday, like Christmas or something. That's what it felt like. And you're right. You could almost hear the chatter.
Yeah, and that even though the speech bubbles are separate, you can tell that they're talking over each other because they're all having different conversations. And then, as you're reading through, you're just like, oh, someone over here is having an important conversation.
What was really impressive? It still flowed, like, just from the lettering perspective, it flowed so amazingly easily.
Oh, yeah.
Like, from I had to remember how you read manga for a second then. So from like right to left, I know, right? When I was saying it, I was like, so from right to left, it flows very steadily across the top, but you do have the one bubble down the bottom. But it's almost inconsequential because that bottom conversation is almost, it's not necessarily unimportant, but
it's a different conversation.
It's also kind of unimportant. Yeah. And it funnels you through from, hey, this character's here now, to a new friendship bond building between Okaroon and Turbo Granny, and then serious conversation, and then a new relationship building between I've forgotten his name, the anatomy doll and and the alien mantis shrimp.
Love that guy.
Who needs milk to breathe? Is that what?
No, that's his son. His son needs milk to breathe because he's got an issue. It's like a medical condition, and because. Man, once again, the world building this is so good.
So I did read that right. Okay.
But how good is the fact that he's back on Earth because he couldn't milk the cow on his planet because they live in a submerged environment? I'm just like, that is such a good way of bringing them back around. Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to think of that. That was just so well planned.
Yeah. It was, and it tied in the whole aliens, cows joke.
Yeah,
it was good. It was good. And I like how they brought what was her name? Was it Mimi?
Ooh, I haven't seen it for so many chapters.
I know that I'll do it because I'm a beautiful girl.
She's so much fun though.
She is
the hair girl. As we call.
Oh, actually, yeah, no, they
powers.
They brought her in on that one, the panel under the hot pot first, but then like the first panel, like thing that she's like immediately confronting the alien, and the alien is just ignoring her completely.
Yeah.
And I think,
why was she even there? Oh, they got back home. They went back home. So they're back home again.
That's right, because there is the ritual at the shrine.
Yeah, they're trying to do the ritual at the shrine.
Man, just some of that paneling where they popped open Gigi's face.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
It's just, it looks like it's two panels, but it's one. The way it's split.
Yeah.
Or are you referring to the time that he opens the panel and it's just Gigi inside?
No, I was talking about the one that
stupid face.
The one that looks like it's it looks like it's a panel with the line down the center.
Yeah,
I thought that was very well done. And I don't know how they do it. And the art is gorgeous.
And the food porn in there as well.
The food porn, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and the new mechanic on transforming.
Yes. That is 100% dedicated to Ranma.
Oh yeah, it's 100% Ranma half.
Yeah, they've just gone. I'm a big fan of Rumiko's work, and I'm throwing it in there. And a lot of it, even though everything feels so original, a lot of it also feels familiar. Like it's been just grabbed from all sorts of different locations and just smooshed together, whether it's folklore or theories or whatever. It's all stuff you would find in a book or a magazine or, in someone's manga. It just feels like it's all, been smooshed together in such a dynamic way. It's all the stuff we love.
It's tied together so well. Like it's action scenes, it's fisheye lens shots, which seem to be super prevalent at the moment. I've been seeing fisheye paneling in a lot of things recently.
Yeah, it's come back again. It was huge in the late 90s or early 2000s.
Because I think Kajiki did it too, didn't they? With some of the like sky shots.
Yeah, definitely with a few of the sky shots to get that wide angle.
Yeah.
Finish. It does look a little bit fisheye. Yeah. That's more of a wide angle environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
do love that panel of Gigi with the
the
fully open. He's like
such a dork. I honestly I missed seeing that dickhead.
He's so much, and we got so much of him on the lead up. The lead up to it was,
I think that was purposeful.
It was that 4 chapters that really got you invested in who he was and what he stood for and his rivalry with Okuran as well. It solidified him as a character and him as a main character as well, not just
his position in the not just in the story, but in the family that I guess they're kind of building, because that seems to be more. Let's just bring Kai's comment back. Nakama,
yes.
Man. It has that same sort of energy as the friends we made along the way. But
it's about the journey, not the
I love those like random Japanese phrases that are oddly specific. Like Nakama encapsulates like that found family so well. But briefly, because we're getting close to the hour and a half mark, Undead Unluck is still in a weird position. Not sure what's going on there.
It's not over yet? I thought they would have finished that.
Like I said, Chapter 100 kind of felt like a soft reboot. God's mad, and actually...
You don't say.
Maybe the son? He's actively trying to stop Undead now because Undead's mad because God killed his girlfriend. That's basically the plot at the moment.
Isn't that where we started?
No, we started with Fuko wanting to die because she couldn't be. She had what's her name? She had the X-Men girl, Rogue syndrome. Yeah. She couldn't touch anyone, so she was isolated.
Yeah.
Well,
she got a wish.
Yeah. Except now she doesn't want to be dead because she's in love. So yeah, it's a bit of a role reversal. I don't know. It feels weird at the moment, man.
It's a weird manga. I
have faith. It's gonna be good, but yeah. odd sort of story direction. Jujutsu Kaisen is still amazing.
Fighting. It's still fighting.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I love Utah.
Yeah, look, we are starting to see a bit more going on now. There's a bit more to the story. I think this is like a direct link to the rollout of the new film and way they're introducing this character in. They're really drilling home that here's the main character. By the way, everything was a prequel. We were actually setting up the bad guy. Here is the actual main character.
So we might as well have this as a Read This Way featuring Sufferance at this point. But I was watching another Sufferance video today. And he made a super good point that Yuta is basically, even though he was the original protag in the one shot of Jujutsu Kaisen, which is now issue 0 and the movie that's coming out, he's a replacement Gojo. Like narratively wise, he's filling that gap without having him be as insanely broken as Gojo. And basically it seemed like he wrote himself into a bit of a hole with Gojo because of how insanely overpowered he is. Everyone has to kind of catch up.
Yeah, they had to take him down because the story couldn't progress because he would just destroy everything in his path.
He'd fix every problem.
Yeah.
And so like with Yuta, you still know everything's probably going to work out fine, but it's not going to be as instantly as Gojo walking in and just being all like, infinite, go away, and everything just dies.
Infinity. Essentially what he did.
Yeah. Like, I don't get me wrong, I miss Pretty Eye Boy, but I also really like Yuta. And I like the concept of having the upperclassmen take the role of the mentor/teacher position after that hierarchy in the high school has been completely dismantled. And there is pretty much no hierarchy left in Japan at this point, as far as I'm aware.
No, right? Everything's sideways at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Or is it just that Shinjuku spot? Sorry, Shibuya spot.
No, it's several locations over Japan, isn't it?
I don't remember. We've just literally had like 30 weeks of fighting recently. So
I know. It's been so much. So much.
See, this is the
they
problem.
Put their little hotspots all across Japan.
This is the problem when you like reading it weekly. As opposed to reading it all in one go or like catching up and then reading weekly, is that you forget a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
especially when you're reading like 30 goddamn properties.
Yeah, we are consuming a bit at the moment, aren't
we? I was talking to my partner earlier and was just like, oh, did I tell you that I started reading another new couple of manga? And she was like, oh, more? You need more. I was like, yeah, look, you're not. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yes, we do.
Admittedly, there were some more cool ones, but we might have to cut up short here.
Yeah,
Sakamoto was still really good.
Awesome, love it every step of the way. Keep it going. Don't stop doing what it's doing.
I mean,
new characters, cool.
Yes. I'm much looking forward. Like, we're still kind of in that setup stage with Sakamoto, so there's not really a lot to talk about.
No.
The same with Elusive Samurai. It's in a good spot, but it's again kind of in the setups point, almost kind of hitting that crescendo. And we're going to go into another war, apparently.
Yay.
Black Clover again. We're in the crescendo at the moment, I think. Not sure where we are actually. Like, we're 330 chapters in roughly, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen after they beat this big bad. It doesn't feel like there's much left. That's right. We also got an insanely short chapter this week. Last week, just gone. We only got 9 pages. It was like 9 really good pages. But I hope that there's no like health concerns going on at the moment with Yuki Tabata. Because he has had some health concerns in the past where he had to take some hiatuses. So I do hope that if there is something like that going on again, that he does go on break. Because
yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, because you need to. And yeah, My Hero Academia is in another weird spot, but for different reasons. We had a love confession in the middle of the final war arc, which was by a villain to a hero. It was really cool. I enjoyed it, but I don't know what's going on at the moment. So
she's not placed in the right spot.
No. Actually, it was very well. It was an unanswered question that was a follow-on from. So it was Togata, the bloodsucky girl. She had a few plot lines left dangling, and Izuku basically now has Spidey sense. He was pulled into a portal without his Spidey sense triggering because Togata's insane and doesn't want to necessarily cause harm. So, yeah. There's an interesting little turn of events going on here, and Ochiko's there as well, so she's all like, nah, because I like Izuku.
Get your hands off my man.
It feels a bit weird, but honestly, the way that it was handled was really well done. You had another character come in and diffuse the situation, piffed Izuku back to the front line where he needed to be, but it also kind of gave closure to Togata's character a little bit. We'll see what happens in the next chapter. I hope they do extrapolate a little bit more on that between a conversation with Ochiko and Togata, because the main theme in the last few chapters seems to be on Ochiko and Deku being the new age heroes where they believe that even villains need saving. It's not just about rescuing people, it's about solving the root cause. So
yeah,
literally saving everybody. Like that's the mantra that I'm getting. So I'm hoping that there's some way to redeem most of the villains besides the big bad, who is literally the grand manipulator of pretty much the entire series at this point. So I'm interested to see where it's heading, but
weird place.
So, weird place.
Yeah,
I did enjoy the like. Who would think of doing a love confession in the middle of a war?
Yeah, it's not.
It was jarring, but in a good way.
Yeah,
that's how I would describe it. It was well executed. I felt. There were people that probably more in line thinking of you, thinking that it was weird and dumb and bad.
That's their problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Righto. Unless you've got something more important to say.
Oh no, I missed some of Kai's comments. Yes, Nakama, and agreed. Toga is. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to give us a like on whatever platform you're watching us on. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Share us around. Help us recommend more manga to people. That's pretty much all we want to do is just spread some more titles around. Get some more titles off you guys. We've got a Discord server if you want to join us. The Kickstarter for links are in the description, in the comments section as well. So yeah, that's all the good things, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks
with more stuff to talk about.
With more delightful. Oh, wait a minute, they're gonna have a break, aren't they?
Yeah, so
we'll find something new. Find something new to read. Something old. Maybe we'll pick up an old title this week.
Actually, I will actually get around to reading Zom 100. Zom 100.
Zom 100. That looks like fun. Looks pretty good.
Zombie 100. Bucket List of the Dead. Tune in next fortnight to find out about how that goes down.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, guys. He's been Logan.
And he's been Brad.